Kicking off our list number 10 is the fun fact that she grew up on a Christmas tree farm. Now, most of the time when you get asked where you grew up, you normally would not expect someone's response to be a Christmas tree farm. But during an interview back in 2014, Taylor told Esquire that she grew up on a Christmas tree farm from ages 5 to 10. She said, "It was such a weird place to grow up, but it has cemented in me this unnatural level of excitement about fall and then the holiday season." She loved that part of her childhood so much that she even released a Christmas song in 2019 called Christmas Tree Farm, and in the music video it is compiled clips from her childhood on that farm. How cool is that? I wish I grew up on a Christmas tree farm. I'm a huge holiday person. That'd be a dream come true. Up next, number 9 is she was on the TV series CSI. I don't know what it is about this beautiful blonde, but I just can't picture her being on a show like CSI. Mainly because she's never actively pursued an acting career, so I'm just a little confused as to when this even happened. It was all the way back in 2009 when she appeared on an episode where her character ended up getting murdered. Her character was total opposite to Taylor that we're used to seeing, like the bubbly country girl during this time. Her character had a very dark past and storyline, and she actually rocked a lip piercing along with 5 different hairstyles throughout the episode. It was actually one of her first big roles, and people were a little shocked by the risky and romantic scenes that she had to perform. Sliding into number 8 is her go-to drive-thru order. Alright, so maybe it's a little bit silly to think that people care about Taylor Swift's drive-thru order, but I guarantee there are tons of people who do. I mean, I would personally love to know what Miley Cyrus's drive-thru order is. Like 100%. During an interview with Vogue, she was asked what her go-to order would be at a drive-thru, and she answered saying a cheeseburger, fries, and a chocolate shake. A pretty simple order, to be honest. I guess her answer would depend based on like what restaurant she's ordering from, but we get the gist of it. Let me know in the comments, just for fun, what your drive-thru order would be. Mine would be kind of like a chicken burger. I'm a chicken type person. Some chicken nuggets with honey, and I would go for a chocolate shake. I can't have dairy, but I would do it anyway. Extra pickles on my sandwich too, obviously. Moving on to number 7 is she wrote a book when she was a teenager. There is no denying she is a gal with many talents, and writing is obviously one of them since she writes lyrics all the time. But apparently she wrote a book when she was young, and it was pretty legit. The book was called A Girl Named Girl, and her parents said they still have a copy of it. During her interview with GQ, she said she wrote an autobiographical novel when she was 14. She talked about the story plot and said, "It's about a mother who wants a son, but instead gets a girl." If that book was honestly released in 2020, no lie, it would probably be the best-selling novel in the world. She went on to say that she's always been into books, and if she was not pursuing music, she probably would have went to college and got into a career such as marketing. She said she would want words and ideas to be the forefront of her career. In the number 6 spot is how she spends her time after a concert. Many artists have rituals that they will do before or after performing a massive concert. Taylor has a way that she likes to unwind after performing to a crowd of tens of thousands of people and meeting hundreds of fans during meet and greets. In 2015, she told GQ that after she is done performing, she likes to go home and have a mini marathon of the show Friends. She said it is her favorite show that is currently not on the air, and by the sounds of it, Taylor and I would be very good friends. Get it? Friends? I love Friends. Halfway through number 5 is the first song she ever learned on guitar. We don't see her playing her guitar often anymore the way she used to when she started out as a country singer. Before she ventured into the pop genre, she was just a blonde girl singing with her brown boots and her acoustic guitar. Nowadays she's gone completely pop, but once in a while she will slow it down and share her guitar skills with her fans. During an interview with Vogue, she was asked what the first song was that she learned on guitar, and she said it was Kiss Me by the Sixpence None the Richer. Fun fact, guys, I used to play guitar. No lie, I played acoustic guitar, I took some lessons, and the first song I ever learned was Happy Ending by Avril Lavigne. That is fact. And I can still play one song, and it's James Blunt, You're Beautiful. Sniping the number 4 spot is she was a horseback rider. This one isn't totally surprising after I said that she grew up on a farm. It seems like that lifestyle has just kind of always been a part of her life for a long time. She opened up about her mom having a love for horses during a 2016 interview, where she said that when she was younger, her mom had the dream of her becoming a horseback rider. So she started taking lessons at a young age and was actually riding competitively until she was 12 years old, but eventually she told her mom that she did not share that same passion for horses and that it wasn't something she wanted to pursue. Alright guys, in the third spot is she was maid of honor. I know she was just a human like everyone else, but for some reason it's hard to just picture Taylor rolling up to a wedding as someone in a bridal party. Like, wouldn't everyone want like to get her up on stage to like sing and perform? Turns out in 2016, Taylor returned to her hometown in Reading, Pennsylvania for the wedding of her childhood friend Brittany Mack. And like everyone else, Taylor did all the things that any maid of honor would do, even a big speech. Vogue reported that during her speech she said, "Real love doesn't mess with your head, real love just is, real love just endures, real love maintains, real love takes it page by page." Kinda sounds like her lyrics, and honestly, if that was me, I would probably just like go back in my notes and just use like song lyrics from songs that I didn't put out there yet. That's what I would do. Taking over spot number 2 is she has 3 cats. So the real Taylor Swift fans won't be too surprised by this. Taylor is actually obsessed with cats. She is the definition of a crazy cat lady, and she openly talks about it. She has gone on the Ellen Show a few times and did segments based around cats, like the Kitty Corner, where she dressed up as an old lady and talked about cats with like photos of them hanging behind her in a shrine. Her cats' names are Meredith Grey, Olivia Benson, and Benjamin Button. She named her first Scottish Fold cat after the character Meredith Grey from the TV series Grey's Anatomy. Her second cat, Olivia Benson, was named after another TV character from Law & Order. And just in case you couldn't guess, so was the third cat. Benjamin Button was actually named after Brad Pitt's character in the film The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. Interesting. She should have named it after like other artists. Like, this is Ariana Grande. This is Ellen DeGeneres. She should name her next cat Ellen. Earning the number 1 spot, she has written songs for other artists. Oftentimes in the music industry, we learn about artists who write songs for other people, and Taylor Swift is one to add to the list. She's been known to write her own music, but she also wrote Better Man for Little Big Town, and even a song for the Hannah Montana movie, You'll Always Find Your Way Back Home, which was especially exciting for me because I'm a huge Hannah Montana fan, and I had no idea. So when I learned that, I was freaking out. In 2016, one of her PR reps also reached out to People and said that Taylor wrote This Is What You Came For Calvin Harris. I mean, this is a pretty impressive list to add to her resume. There's probably a lot more where that came from as well.
In at number 10, early life. Bashar Jackson was born on July 20th, 1999 in Brooklyn, New York. Pop's mother was Jamaican and his father was Panamanian. Pop spent the majority of his childhood in the Cannery section of Brooklyn. While he was only in elementary school, he was expelled from the 8th grade for bringing a gun to school and spent 2 years on house arrest after being charged with weapons possession. When he was only 15 years old, he won a basketball scholarship to a Philadelphia prep school, but only stayed for a short time. Instead of pursuing a career in sports, which we'll get to more of later, Pop decided to align himself with the Crips gang in New York City. This led to him selling drugs and leading down a bad path where he was now involved with some very violent gang members. Before his death, he even had to pull several shows because it was reported that rival gang members were in attendance. In at number 9, music career. Pop Smoke began his music career in 2018 while hanging around other recording artists like Jake Guapo during their studio sessions. Initially, he was remixing popular songs within the New York City drill music scene before embarking on creating original music. He also got his start kind of by accident. During those studio sessions, Smoke would be secretly recording his own vocals. Now that he was friendly with many people in this rising Brooklyn drill scene, Smoke would then combine his booming, smoky vocals with the sonics of Chicago and London drill, which led to him producing an explosive collection of street-driven anthems. In at number 8, his parents. Pop Smoke's family have broken their silence regarding the artist's tragic death last month. In an open letter, the family thanked everyone for their support and prayers. In the letter, they said, "The family of Bashar Pop Smoke Jackson would like to express our sincere gratitude to everyone for their support. Every prayer, call, and act of kindness is deeply appreciated as we mourn the loss of our son, brother, and friend. Brooklyn was the backdrop for all that Bashar loved. It's where he was raised, nurtured, and educated prior to the world being introduced to his immense talent as the artist Pop Smoke. We continue to ask for the respect and privacy during these difficult times. In accordance with Bashar's wishes, we will be announcing the full details of his foundation soon." In at number 7, origin of name. During an interview with Genius, Pop stated that his artist name of Pop Smoke is actually a combination of Papa, a nickname given to him by his Panamanian grandmother. The Smoke part of his name, though, is actually a nickname given to him by his childhood friends. And it's really just that simple. In at number 6, breakout moment. In April of 2019, Pop Smoke released his breakout single Welcome to the Party, the lead single of his debut mixtape Meet the Woo in 2019. Racking up millions of streams in just days, Smoke's track swiftly became Brooklyn Drill's biggest success thus far. The song was later remixed 2 more times, one featuring Nicki Minaj and the other featuring Skepta in August of 2019. The song was noted for its usage of UK drill production, later commonly seen throughout his discography. This was really due though to frequent collaborations with British drill producer 808 Mello. Other well-known songs of his include NPR, Flexin' and Dior. Following the rise of popularity of Welcome to the Party, he collaborated with other popular artists on singles such as War featuring Lil TJ and 100K on a Coupe featuring Callboy. In December of 2019, he collaborated on Gaddy with Jack Boys and Travis Scott, which is the last track on the Jack Boys 2019 album by Travis and his Cactus Jack members. In at number 5, arrests. On January 17, 2020, after returning from Paris Fashion Week, Pop Smoke was arrested by federal authorities at John F. Kennedy International Airport and charged with transporting a stolen vehicle across state lines. The vehicle was a Rolls-Royce Wraith valued at $375,000, whose owner had reported it stolen after Smoke had reportedly borrowed it in California for a music video shoot on the condition that it would be returned the next day. Investigators believe that he arranged for the car to be transported on a flatbed truck to New York. He posted a photo of himself in front of the stolen car on Instagram and on Facebook. The car was recovered by authorities at Smoke's mother's house in the Tennessee section of Brooklyn and sported Alabama license plates and tinted windows. Smoke pleaded not guilty and was released on $250,000 bail the same day. In at number 4, legacy left behind. A notable expatriate of the UK drill sound, Pop Smoke's popularity grew so much in New York that his songs were played more than some Billboard #1 hits throughout 2019. The way that he blended the defining harsh sounds of drill with lyrics pertaining to leading a luxurious, hedonistic lifestyle similar to those popularized within the American trap sound led many to believe that he represented his city better than his contemporaries. Danny Schwartz from The Ringer said that he conquered New York rap and gave the city the kind of ready-made and potentially defining sound that it hadn't seen in years. His work ethic was widely praised by his peers in the music industry as well. 50 Cent would even go on to be the executive producer of his posthumous album and revealed that he was always writing what he said down on his phone. The rapper Quavo added that he felt like he was talking to somebody that had been in the game for 3 years already. Due to Pop Smoke's strong desire to leave his old lifestyle, he motivated young people in his neighborhood to get away from the streets. Producer Rico Beats explained that he started telling kids to not go to the gang route and encouraged them to try and be a better person. A few months after his death, his family announced the creation of Shoot for the Stars, a foundation launched by Pop which aimed at helping and inspiring inner city youth. The foundation provided a platform that helps kids achieve goals while living and growing up in difficult circumstances. After his death, several murals of him were created in his hometown and his funeral was attended by a massive crowd estimated to be over 1,000 people. Although his lyrics do not necessarily contend with police brutality or racism, his songs have been widely used during the George Floyd protests in New York City as a symbol of resistance. In at number 3, a career in sports. Now, as I mentioned earlier, when he was only 15, he won a basketball scholarship to a Philadelphia prep school, but only stayed for a short time. Smoke told The Fader in December of 2019 that he had originally dreamed of a career in sports, excelling in football, basketball, and baseball. Smoke said, "I thought I was going to go to Howard, go over there and join a fraternity. It wasn't always rapping. Who would have thought that I would be a rapper?" And who really knows what could have actually happened to him had he gone on and pursued a career in basketball. In at number 2, posthumous album. Pop Smoke's manager Stephen Victor announced on May 14, 2020 that Smoke's posthumous debut album would be released on June 12, 2020. 50 Cent even gave praise to the deceased rapper and expressed interest in finishing the album. He also wanted to include possible features from Roddy Ricch, Drake, and Chris Brown. He also promised to get Pop Smoke's mother to an award show. And in April, a documentary on Pop Smoke's life was announced to be in the works as well. Pop Smoke's posthumous debut album, Shoot for the Stars, Aim for the Moon, was originally set for release on June 12, 2020, but was eventually released on July 3, 2020. It was met with massive commercial success as well, reaching #1 in several countries, including on the US Billboard 200. The entire album also charted on the Billboard Hot 100, led by tracks For the Night and The Woo. On July 20th, 2020, on what would have been Pop Smoke's 21st birthday, a deluxe edition of the album was released. The upsetting thing was that he was also set to play at Wireless Festival in London on Friday, July 3rd, alongside A$AP Rocky and Young Thug. Last but certainly not least, on our #1 spot, cause of death. Pop Smoke died on February 19, 2020 after being shot twice during a home invasion in Hollywood Hills, California. According to authorities, 4 men entered the home at about 4:30 a.m. on February 19th, one of them wearing a ski mask and carrying a handgun. Police received news of the home invasion from a call from the East Coast. Although when police arrived at the home 6 minutes later and found Pop Smoke with multiple gunshot wounds, he was then taken to Cedars-Sinai Medical Center where he was pronounced dead. On February 21st, the Los Angeles County Medical Examiner revealed that the cause of Pop Smoke's death was a gunshot wound to the torso. so. Pop Smoke was then buried at Greenwood Cemetery in Brooklyn. Then on July 10th, 5 men were arrested in connection with his murder. 4 were charged with his murder, and their names were Corey Walker, 19 years old, Keandra Rogers, 18 years old, and 2 teens aged 17 and 15. Since the crime was committed during a robbery, the adults are eligible for the death penalty.